Hey, it's Dr. Buck, and in this video we're going to talk about diving injuries. I know you guys love to go diving off of cliffs and rocks and diving boards and all that stuff, but you can really mess yourself up if you're not paying attention, especially if you're doing a little drinking, which is very common in the summertime, so that's why I want to talk about that. So let's get to it. All right, so here's the deal. When the summertime comes, we get tons of water sports and diving accidents, and unfortunately, they can be really, really devastating. I had 2 patients last year dive off of their roof into a pool head first and fracture their neck and become paralyzed. So really bad news. And unfortunately, a lot of these injuries are alcohol related. So if you're gonna be going out and doing water sports, either do the water sport without the alcohol or do the alcohol without the water sports. Don't like try and mix both of them because it's just like a bad news. So here's the deal. The C-spine or cervical spine, right, basically your neck, you don't want to break your neck. So what happens is people dive off of cliffs, diving boards or rocks or whatever, and they go head first and they don't know where the bottom is. It's a shallow bottom for whatever reason, and they hit their head and obviously they break their C-spine and they can become paralyzed. So if they get paralyzed, they're obviously not able to swim. You got to fish them out. You want to make sure, number one, there's no danger in the water that you're going into. Say it's like a river or a lake. You want to make sure it's safe for you to go in there. You also want to get somebody to go get help, number one, because if you go in there and you don't get anybody to get help and then you have a problem, you both are goners, right? So you don't want that to happen. So number 1 and 2. Secondly, so you want to bring them out of the water. At the same time, you want to make sure you don't flop their neck around because obviously if you break your neck, a lot of times they're not paralyzed yet, right? So if you flop their neck around and then they can become paralyzed. The spinal cord can be injured really easily. It doesn't take a lot to injure it, but it's irreversible injury. So you don't want to paralyze somebody while you're bringing them out of the water that wasn't paralyzed to begin with. Anyway, you want to keep the neck, what we call in line with the rest of the body. So you don't want to turn it this way, that way, whatever, up, down, whatever. So you just want to keep it like right in line with the rest of the spine like that, okay? And then obviously you want to check for breathing and a pulse, which we do on everybody. If they're awake and alert, they're probably breathing. If they're talking, they're probably breathing. I have a basic life support video on that. You can go watch that if you want. That's the major issue with diving injuries is really the C-spine, and you can also have other injuries. I think it's like 10% of C-spine injuries have some other type of injury as well. So you can have thoracic spine, which is the chest, or the lumbar spine, which is the low back injuries as well. So you'll make sure. So sometimes people jump and they don't jump head first, but they jump butt first kind of thing, and they land on their butt and they can break their lumbar spine. While we're talking about it, if you are diving off of something, don't be too stupid. Make sure you check the depth of the water first. If you don't know where the bottom is and you can't figure out what the bottom is, then don't dive off of that thing for sure. Maybe not even jump, maybe find another spot. That's probably the best thing to do. Although, when I was like 15 and 16, I didn't really check very much because, boys are they're like stupid. They just do stuff, and it's like all adrenaline, all I guess testosterone and adrenaline together is like a bad mix. So if you can do that, if you're a little older now, you can have a little reserve. That's really good. So do that. That's it for this video. If you like these videos, please subscribe to my channel. You can find me on the YouTube, the Twitter, the Facebook, and drbuckparker.com. Yeah, we'll chat. All right. Take care.